Welcome back then to the Saturday Hours. We now have our virtual guest. He's not a robot, by the way. When I say virtual, everyone assumes that it's a made-up sort of text-to-speech, but it's not. It's Bart. How are we doing, Bart?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing good.
So I need to clarify. How do you pronounce your surname?
It's my stage name, Zeal.
Zeal. Oh, so I did say it right.
Yeah.
I love this bit about I love this bit about your biography. It says Bart as a medieval and rock music performer. I mean, did they have rock music in the medieval times?
I don't know how that got in. No, yeah. Yeah, when I'm with bands, I'm playing rock. I guess medieval bands. Well, yeah, could be.
You're from the Netherlands originally as well.
Yeah.
So you are our first international guest on the show.
It's an honor.
But you have previously lived not too far away from here. You lived in Sheffield as well.
Yeah. I used to live in Sheffield for a while. It's a really beautiful town. I had a lot of fun. A lot of open mics, music there.
Are you back in the Netherlands now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic. I mean, the weather must be better there than it is here.
Not so sure about that.
So we're going to go back then, Bart, to how you first got into music. Now, I know it says here that your parents brought you your first guitar for your 16th birthday back in 2009. And sort of since then, that's how you kind of got into music, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was raised musically a lot, like not with instruments, but my dad was always listening to Scottish, Irish folk and country, and pretty broad taste of music. Even goes into Björk, this kind of music.
Oh wow!
And and he used to listen to a lot of rock and even hard rock when he was young, but he wasn't allowed to play that when I was young. So I was raised really musically like that, and that inspired me to grab a guitar and try myself.
And you started writing your own songs as well.
Yeah, I love that. I think I love that the most.
And you know, back to then when you were writing your own songs, I mean, did you know that you were going to go straight into rock music and stuff like that, or did you kind of experiment and try all sorts of different styles of music?
Oh yeah. It took me a long time because, I had this rock phase as well. I'm not playing rock anymore, more like a folkish kind of guy. But I've trilled everywhere pretty much. Well, not everywhere because I didn't do metal. I think metal is the hardest to play. You have to be really, really, really good in order to play that. But yeah, I tried a lot of different stuff, and I ended up somewhere in the folkish kind of fantasy medieval theme.
Yeah, and you went to study, didn't you, music as well?
I tried. I tried to get into the Pop Academy in the Netherlands. Where is it? I think it was Rotterdam. Not sure. Probably wrong. I tried to, but I was denied 3 times. And then I thought, well, you know what? It's music. It's art. I don't need a school for that. I can do it myself. So I'm trying to do it myself now, and with some friends, and yeah. As long as I want to enjoy it. I don't have to be an absolute professional.
Yeah. Do you do it full time then, or is it sort of like something that you do at a weekend?
I wish I could do it full time, but I'm not earning enough money with it just yet. But I do it. I play music every day. And when I feel inspired, or when I think like, okay, now I know really well how to play it, then I'll record something. And we work like this. So every month I produce, or my producers produce, but every month we record a song, and we upload it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So when you moved over to the UK then, you actually came over, did you come here to do uni?
Yeah, some courses in landscape architecture.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Is that kind of what you want to be able to do full time?
I used to want that, but in the Netherlands it's really hard. You cannot just call yourself a landscape architect. You have to go through some juries that judge your designs.
Right.
And you only have 3 chances, and you only can submit it like once every so many months or years. And it's a sort of a protected title. So I figured I wasn't the best of my class, and I figured maybe I don't have a lot of chance with this. So now I'm doing communication work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're
really enjoying that.
You're very well educated then.
You can say that, yeah. It's sort of the same like with music. I've sort of followed my heart, do what I like, and then I ended up in a place that actually, I feel good about.
Yeah, so, fantastic. I love this as well, that it says here, when you came to Sheffield, obviously you did a few open mics and things, but you had your first Milestone experience here, where you had an entire pub singing along to a song that you'd written yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be incredible, knowing that, people are singing along to your music.
Yeah, it was magical. It was my goodbye party. So there were a lot of people that I've come to know in Sheffield, because when I came there I didn't know anyone, and then I went away and I had a pub full of friends, and they even knew my songs, and it was definitely a milestone. It was really amazing.
Yeah, I could imagine. And it says here as well that you also gravitated away from conventional music genres and started writing RPG-themed songs. Now, you'll have to explain what an RPG-themed song is.
Yeah, that's all right. It's RPG stands for role play game.
Okay.
So that means like
Dungeons and Dragons, things like that.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, and recently there was this hype around the Assassin's Creed game, the new Viking Assassin's Creed game, games like that, and series like Game of Thrones, and the movies like Lord of the Rings, this kind of genre. And then write about. I either cover theme songs or write about the stories from the main characters. Oh,
wow, fantastic. And it says here that as well, this is where your heart truly lies now as well. So this is something that you'd like to continue doing. And I suppose this is where the medieval comes into it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so are we talking like Seashanties, things like that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, fantastic. That's fantastic, because it's such a big thing now as well. I mean, sea shanties have been going for thousands of years, but it's all of a sudden come back to light now, and more people are enjoying it again.
Yeah, there used to be songs like worker songs so that they could enjoy working under these extreme conditions, and now all kinds of people are just singing them for fun, and it's really nice. I really like it. Yeah.
And you've got a home studio now as well.
Yeah, I do. I record everything from my little workspace.
Do you find that it's a lot cheaper to be self-recorded than it is to actually go and use a paid studio?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And especially for beginning artists, they probably, like when I started, I didn't know anything about audio techniques. So when you go to a studio, you're sort of... you're paying more, you're also getting more, but you're not using everything because you don't even know. You probably use a few mics. So I think, definitely if you're starting, it's better to make an investment for a few €100 and then get yourself some good mics.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, is that the advice that you'd give to somebody who's also considering setting up their own studio? Yeah.
And definitely don't be afraid. Like when I started, I used a cheap mic and I was still waiting like, oh no, I have to be better in order to get better equipment. But it sort of goes hand in hand. When I upgraded, I also upgraded my online presence. So, yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Now, it does say, and this is absolutely fantastic as well, that your first hit appeared in 2021 in the shape of My Mother Told Me from the Viking series.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be absolutely amazing.
That was really affirming, like, maybe I have a future in music. Yeah. Because until then, it was just small audiences, but now this one has about 800,000 streams by now. So it's doing really well.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. You also do a lot of covers, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So how do you select the covers that you choose?
It's two-sided. One side, sometimes I go for looking up what's popular at the moment.
Okay.
And the other side is really what I like to sing and what fits in my sort of niche genre. So it's two-sided. Sometimes it's both, that is popular and I really like it. I have to like it at least. That's definitely a condition. But mostly I just look around what's going on. There's going to be a new Witcher season.
Yep.
And in the Witcher series, they also have this Bart kind of figure that writes and sings songs. So for sure, I'm probably going to be covering that one if I like it.
Toss a coin for your Witcher.
Yeah, the songs like that. Yeah.
We love songs like that, yeah. So obviously, when you do pick cover songs as well, you're not just looking at what's popular. You're also going on what's behind the certain songs as well. So what the meaning is of the song, what the story is behind it as well. So you choose on that basis as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. For instance, I didn't cover Toss a Coin to Your Witcher yet because it sort of didn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
I didn't like it enough, and the lyrics are very important too. I have to. I think authenticity is a really important concept that you need in your music in order to. I think I need in my music in order to succeed.
Yeah.
Because I have to believe in the music I sing myself. I have to like it enough myself. I wouldn't be satisfied if I'd make a song I don't like, even if other people do like it. I think it's the lyrics and what the song is about is also really important when I'm choosing.
Absolutely. Now, I know you have a long list of things to do before you die, but one of your dreams is to be able to write a song for a soundtrack of a game, a movie, or a series. So are you talking film scores? So we're talking orchestra, things like that, or are we just talking like, the sea shanty kind of style of soundtracks?
Smaller, because I play guitar, a tiny bit banjo, but mostly just guitar, and I sing. And that's also what I write. I find it really difficult to write for other instruments.
Okay.
So I would really love to have to write a song, or build a song together with other musicians, and then that it ends up into a soundtrack. That would be, that's definitely a dream.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean,
it's like the reverse of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Like I'm covering songs from other people, and then maybe, then my song gets into a series. That would be great.
So when you're writing your own music then, Bart, I mean, how do you get the inspiration for the songs? How do the ideas come? Is it just sort of random, or do you have to be in a certain place, or how does it work?
It feels random. It really has to do with feeling. When I'm really inspired by something, I used to write a lot of songs about this role-play community I was in. It was called Hollow World. And there were a lot of characters doing a lot of different things. And sometimes a character had such a compelling story, or they had a certain way. Like there's this one song I wrote about a guy who was a hero to the people. And in the end, he died in an epic battle. And I was like, okay, how am I going to translate this? That's what I really like. Like the story was really big, but I translated it into a much more smaller lament kind of song.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really inspires me, is to the challenge of translating a feeling and a certain thought into a song that, as long as you listen to it, you also feel the same vibes. And then when the song ends, it sort of also ends, and you have to play it again to get back into that mood, I think. Yeah,
I mean, obviously inspiration comes in all shapes and all different scenarios, but I mean, obviously we've been in lockdown, so how did you get inspiration then? I can imagine you've been utilizing that time to spend time figuring out yourself as a musician and obviously covering more songs and things. But I mean, how did you utilize the time that we had during this whole COVID?
It's been different, actually. I've been doing it different now. At the start, I felt like, okay, we can get through this, and I'll focus on my music and so on. And now it's starting to get annoying. I think for everyone. Yeah. It's dragging on too long. And sometimes I must confess I'm a little bit of breaking the rules when I really want to get together with some musicians, and if they would say, yeah. It's hard to stay in your own room. Inspiration also really comes from connecting with other people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's
been a tough one.
I hope it won't be the norm for the coming 10 years. I hope something will change.
Me too.
Music is especially when you're playing music, you really need these get-togethers.
Yeah, because you need to know. Other people's thoughts as well, whether they're enjoying the music, whether they think they should change anything. You need to have somebody else there, essentially.
Absolutely. The worst thing is to just lock yourself up and then just play without you need the, how do you say that? the feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have somebody that you go to get the approval for a song? So, you know, when you write an original song, do you perform it to somebody and say, look, is it good? And they'll say, yeah, it's good, or it's rubbish.
I do sort of ping pong together with a guy called Stuart. I actually moved really close to him. Recently moved house, and he's living down the street. And we sort of throw up a ball in WhatsApp a lot of time. We just record a bit of audio, and then he sends it to me, and he's like, "Oh, I got this melody. What do you think?" And sort of goes the other way around too.
Oh wow, brilliant! That's the kind of friends that you need.
Yeah, among others for sure.
So now that we sort of out of restrictions and things, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the Netherlands at the minute, but we're somewhat back to normal now. How are you going to be utilising the time? Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the year, but I mean, next year, what are the big plans for you? What have you got planned as a musician?
Yeah, for us, yesterday we had a new press conference, and they were like, "Nope, we're closing down again."
Oh no, not another one.
Yeah. So that pisses me off, but nothing to do about it. My big plans, if it's all gone, I'm playing or rehearsing with a small band right now, with 3 guitars and 4 singers. So a bit folkish kind of music as well, folk blues. And the big plans would be to have a proper set list together and to go on stage again. That's one. There's another one I would really... That's also sort of a dream of mine, to play in a church once. Just one guitar and a voice. That would also... I would love to do that. But of course, then also COVID has to go, so everyone can be together in the same space without face masks.
Yeah, definitely. And the acoustics will be great.
Yeah, that's what interests me a lot, because these echoes and these reverbs. Sometimes a guitar might actually everything that you play in a church becomes bigger.
Yes.
So playing a guitar also it just echoes into itself. So I would need a whole different style. So I would imagine that I would also like to practice sometimes in the church before doing the actual show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that would be that would be really unique. I would love to do that.
And will there be another album or another EP or anything on the horizon? Yeah,
there is. Actually, I had contact today as well. I'm working with Rachel Hardy on 2 songs. And she's also on YouTube in the same niche. And Carlene is also in the same niche. And she invited me to sing on one of her songs for her album. And by the time another year passes, I would have, let me think, 12 months, so 12 songs, 12 new songs, and I always drop them into an album and then put them online.
Fantastic. Sounds very exciting. If anybody wants to listen to your music or find you on any social media, where do they need to go to find it?
If you know how to spell my name, Bart Zeal, and then Zeal is Z-E-A-L, then you will find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, pretty much everywhere where you can find music. Yeah. And
on social media as well, you just Bart Zeal everywhere.
Yeah, just the 2 names.
So if anybody's going to Netherlands and hopefully not in restrictions, they'll be able to come and see you hopefully next year at a gig somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope more than one gig.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So we're going to play the song My Mother Told Me in a minute. So this was the one that you had, which was your biggest hit. Tell me about the song. And has the song got a story behind it?
Yeah, it does. My Mother Told Me is sung several times, or maybe a lot of times in the series, but it's always only one verse. And I myself wanted the full song. Like, I was like, why is it only one verse? And I couldn't find it. So I thought, well, maybe if I want it, and probably some other people also want it, maybe this song will do pretty good if I write it. So I wrote 2 extra verses to it. And we recorded it when I was living in the south of the Netherlands. I was living in a sort of, well, how do you call it? It was at a farmer's house.
Okay.
For a month or 2 months. And I played the tune a lot, and the internet was bad and everything. So I was really I was able to focus some positive energy into this song. Beside the bad Wi-Fi and being far away from work, far away from home. So it's it reminds me of this time. And the lyrics I wrote were based on the first verse that they already wrote, and their verse was based on an ancient poem.
Oh, wow.
A Scandinavian poem by this, I think by Egil. Anyway, so he had a longer poem, so I was able to also take some inspiration from that and think about the series and put some keywords in there, like Valkyries are often mentioned in the Scandinavian lore.
Yeah.
And the Aesir, that's the gods. So I thought I need to use some words that people recognize that those are really Viking words. So that's how in the end, how I wrote the extra verses, and then we recorded it.
Fantastic. Yep. It sounds really exciting. I can't wait to play it. But it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this morning, Bart. Wish you all the best. And hopefully you can come out of lockdown again at some point soon. But I'll get you to introduce the song now, and we'll play it.
All right. Well, this is My Mother Told Me by Bart Zeal. That's me.
It gladdens me to know that Odin prepares for a feast. Soon I shall be drinking ale from curved horns. Told me someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven, hew many foemen, hew many foemen. My mother told me someday I would glide, wind like the crow, waves beneath my bones. High above the clouds, their voices I can hear. The Valkyrie await me, hew many foemen, hew many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven, hew many foemen, hew many foemen. My mother told me someday I would die, Valkyrie there low, take me home, Valhalla's gates askew. See my friends anew, the Aesir will be awaiting. You many foemen, you many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to the distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven, hew many foemen, hew many foemen.
That was Bart Zeal. My Mother Told Me. Very, very good. That was our guest this week. Make sure you listen to his music on all the major streaming platforms. What a great guest as well from Netherlands, eh? So I just want to apologise as well. I know he did swear during that interview, but it's okay. All gravy, baby. So earlier I gave